Hey guys, hope you've been well. Sorry it's been so long since I've uploaded any type of recap. I've just kind of disappeared off the face of the earth the past year or two. Just kind of hanging out up in the mountains and doing my own thing with my family, and still traveling a little bit here and there. Still in the RV, but just thought I'd kind of jump on here and do another recap of a couple trades I've taken. One I've closed partial positions, and the others, stops are kind of moving. Some are still, full risk, but still trading, still doing my thing. But thought I'd, try to kind of open these back up a little bit for questions, and if you guys are having any trouble, I'm here to kind of help the best I can. I'm not super active on Instagram or anything like that, but that may change. With the right community, we'll see. I'm looking at maybe just starting a little Discord thing with a couple of previous guys I've helped, just to kind of help push them along and answer any questions and whatnot. So if that's something that you might be interested in, let me know. But let's get into it. So the trade I took that I kind of wanted to focus on is GJ here. GJ's kind of just been on a rip-roaring torrent up, and we finally kind of reached some turning points, I guess, in the market around 168. We double topped and formed kind of like a initial high. We retraced, we pushed back up, rejected that zone, so we have that neckline here, and had a nice little sell-off of the retest of that initial high, and then came back up and retested. And I was actually looking to short GJ this week, just missed the opportunity once we kind of rejected off that again, and kind of put in like a lower high. I was looking for kind of a retest of that zone up here, that once this little trend line thing was established, but didn't quite push up that far this week before we sold off and broke some structure to the downside. Well, when we did, there's structure everywhere, so you have to keep that in mind. So there's short and long opportunities all over the place, depending on your time frame. And once we kind of started pushing down here, we have this trend line here. If we connect this neckline of the double top here to our, potentially higher low, we have that trend line here. We have a nice little zone off that neckline of the double bottom there, the double top. We kind of created like a little resistance level here that you can see it kind of held as resistance, once, and then again, you can even pull it back here, so that's obvious resistance. And then once it was broken, it became support, and tried to push back down below it, and wasn't able to really close below it. Had a nice spike down, but then push back up. So nice little zone there that I was looking at. If you bring in some fibs, just the sore thumb low to high here, off the neckline bottom to the top of the retest, we had I think that's a 50% retracement, and then from this point here up to our kind of third test of that's a nice 78.6 retracement. So I actually went long this morning down here as we spiked down below this trend line and filled that 78.6. As we were spiking down, I went long. The entry was, I think, about 73, so 161.73, and the stop, because we've been so volatile with COVID the past 2 years, I've actually implemented kind of using the ATR, the average true range, as a stop. And if you just, I don't have any specific rules on how to do that, but typically what people do is they will utilize the ATR as kind of like a volatility indicator to just kind of give them an idea of where to put their stop loss. And if you just kind of scroll along here, and I'm looking at this number that's fluctuating here, down here, you know, and it's anywhere from 50, you know, 30 to 50 pips typically on GJ. So that's kind of what I want to keep in mind when I'm putting my stop loss. Early on in my trading career, you know, I was trying to get away with like 10, 20 pip stop losses, and the levels held typically, but not before I got stopped out. So, you know, you have to kind of implement what the market's showing you. And, you know, if the candles are typically moving, you know, 30 to 50 pips on GJ, you know, and this is an hourly chart, they fluctuate based off, this number fluctuates based off of what time frame you're on. So on the 4-hour chart, you know, they're anywhere from like, you know, 60 to 100 pips sometimes. But I knew this was just going to be a quick in and out trade if I could help it, one way or the other. So, you know, the average true range on the hourly charts anywhere from 30 to 50 pips. So I think my initial stop loss was about 45 pips. So that's that. My first target was being just a quick day trade. I just wanted to capture a little retracement back up into some structure. So my first target was about a 2 to 1. I just took this last impulsive move down and just fibbed that. And the 38.2 was kind of my target there. So this was just a quick like 2 to 1 on the first half of my position, and right about a 2 to 1 on that. Still in the second part, just going to trail it appropriately. Right now I'm just at risk free. If we pull back and put in like a higher low and, you know, push up again, then I will trail that accordingly based off of structure. So that's GJ. The other trade that I'm in right now is an Aussie New Zealand trade. Same type of, you know, structural, you know, double top here. We broke the neckline and retraced back up into the 61.8 and kind of this, I don't know, this initial resistance level. That was a limit order. Nothing fancy about that. You know, the structure's there, you know, so that trade's there. That's just about, you know, about 5 pips away from target. I've rolled my stop down pretty aggressively. I think just above this last 4-hour candle. That's going to be somewhere around a 3.5 to 1. I haven't taken any partial profits on that. I've just been trailing that based off of structure. Last trade I'm in is a UCAD trade. Nothing too fancy. Again, double top. I don't want you to think that I'm just trading double tops these days. I'm not. It's just the structure that's formed there. And once we retested that double top, we came down, put in kind of a lower high on this 4-hour chart, pushed down, broke some structure. So could potentially be setting up a little bearish move on this. So just taking that into consideration, this is still a full risk trade. Haven't moved my stops. Haven't you know, taken any partial profits or anything like that. It's just the structure. This was a limit order as well. I don't always do limit orders, but these days probably 75% of my trades are limit orders, just because, you know, I minimize the amount of time that I'm at my computer. So I hope this helps. I'm sorry that, you know, it kind of disappeared. I know a lot of you guys enjoyed watching those those recap videos. So I'm going to try to start back up doing these more consistently, maybe highlight the trade of the week, or, even, some more, trade management or trade psychology, that type of thing. It's been a rough couple years for the market. There's been a lot of people coming into it with crypto, and a lot of people getting burned out, and a lot of people getting chewed up and spit out in a dirty way. Just from a couple of people that I've talked to, it's been rough on them. So the market's still the same, though. It still puts in the same types of structure. It still, puts in higher lows and lower highs, and respects fib retracements and channel structures and all that. So technically, it hasn't changed. One thing that I have noticed over the past couple years is the volatility. Like I said before, in the past, I've tried to get away with 10 pip stops and 20 pip stops, and that's just not what the market's telling you to do these days. Now there's people out there that can probably swing that, but based off of my track record with my own trading, the trades that I've tried to do that on, although the levels may eventually hold, typically I would have gotten stopped out with that tight of a stop. So that's really the only thing that I've changed in the past year or two with my trading is implementing this ATR type of stop. So take that for what it is. Maybe use that. If you have any questions, let me know. I can maybe put out a video or answer some questions. Again, like I said, you can find me on Instagram. I am kind of starting up a little Discord thing. Don't hold it to me. I'm not sure how active I'll be on it. Right now, it's just got a couple of guys in there that I've helped in the past. So if that's something that you want to maybe look into, let me know. No payment or anything right now. If it, seems to take off, I may try to monetize it a little bit. But right now it's just more because I'm, not promising that I'm going to be super, super active on it. I think I posted in there, maybe 3 or 4 times. I posted the UCAD setup and a couple other pairs that I'm watching. Yeah, so I hope you're doing well. I hope your trading's doing well. I just want you to know that it's a tough road, but if you stick with it, and you really kind of get your mind right around it and be consistent with the things that you're doing in the market, then it can be a profitable endeavor for you. I know it's been a long road for me. I'm coming up on a decade trading, so it hasn't been all peaches and cream. It's been pretty dirty at times, but it's definitely a profitable endeavor if you do it right. So I hope this finds you well, and I will talk with you soon.